The futility of arguing with the wrong people. Life is short, and our energy is limited. We cannot spend it everywhere, with everyone. One of the biggest mistakes people make is wasting time and peace in arguments with people who cannot, and will not, understand. It is not because the truth is weak. It is not because your point is wrong. It is because some people simply do not have the wisdom, the patience, or the maturity to reflect on your words. There are people who argue not for truth, but for winning. Not to learn, but to prove. Their joy does not come from growing, but from seeing the other person silent. They don't care about logic. They don't care about facts. They don't care about the topic itself. What they care about is ego. They want to feel bigger, louder, stronger. They want to have the last word. When you engage with such people, you walk into a trap. They will drag you down to their level, and once you are there, you cannot win. Because their level is not built on reason, it is built on noise. They will raise their voice, they will attack your character. They will bring in your past, your mistakes, your weaknesses, anything except the real subject. And the sad part is, when they do this, they feel like winners. They feel validated. They feel powerful, not because they were right, but because they made you feel terrible. This is the danger of arguing with the wrong people. You start with the hope to help, to correct, maybe even to educate, but you end up feeling frustrated, drained, even broken. You realize too late that your decision to engage was the real mistake. Why do such people behave this way? The answer is deeper than it looks. Many times it comes from frustration. When a person does not have purpose, when they don't have dreams they are chasing, when they are not building anything meaningful, they search for cheap victories. For them, winning an argument becomes a replacement for real success. They cannot win in life, so they try to win in words. Another reason is lack of wisdom. Wisdom is not just about knowing facts, it is about understanding life, listening, and reflecting. A wise person can accept when they are wrong. A wise person values learning more than winning. But when wisdom is missing, people confuse stubbornness with strength. They think being loud is the same as being right. And then, there is habit. Some people have made arguing their lifestyle. They argue every day with everyone about everything. It becomes their entertainment, their way of passing time, their way of feeling alive. But the tragedy is, while they spend their days fighting with words, life quietly passes them by. They may win thousands of arguments, but they lose at life. Because here is the truth. A person who only talks, but never acts, never creates anything meaningful. Good talkers can impress people for a moment, but in reality, action speaks louder. You can argue all day, but if your life is empty of real progress, you remain stuck. And many people who argue endlessly are exactly that, stuck. So what should we do? The lesson is clear. Do not waste your peace on such people. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every argument deserves your voice. Sometimes silence is more powerful than the sharpest words. Walking away is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because your time, your energy, your mind are too precious to be thrown into a pit of nonsense. Instead, focus on purpose. Every day, even in small ways, find something meaningful to do. Learn, create, grow, help, love, share. Purpose is the best shield against nonsense. When you have something to live for, you don't get trapped in useless debates. You know where your energy belongs, and you protect it fiercely. If you meet people who live to argue, keep your distance. They cannot be taught, because their hearts are closed. And remember, you cannot pour wisdom into a closed cup. You cannot plant seeds in cement. You cannot teach someone who refuses to listen. That is why silence and distance are often the best answers. Life is too short to spend it proving yourself to the wrong people. If someone truly wants to learn, they will listen. If someone truly values truth, they will reflect. If someone truly loves you, they will respect your words. For everyone else, walk away. Save your peace. Save your energy. Save your soul. At the end of the day, the world does not remember who won arguments. It remembers who built, who created, who helped, who lived with purpose. So don't be dragged into the mud of endless debates. Instead, rise above, keep moving, keep growing. That is how you truly win in life. Because the real victory is not in proving someone wrong. The real victory is in becoming someone right.
The futility of arguing with the unreasonable. It is incredibly difficult and often pointless to debate with someone who lacks wisdom, knowledge, or the ability to listen and reflect. These people do not want to learn or understand. Their only goal is to win the argument, no matter what it takes. When you try to correct them or share helpful information, they do not hear it. Instead, they drag you down to their level. The conversation becomes dirty and illogical, leaving you feeling terrible for even trying to engage. These frustrating debates rarely stay on topic. A person who loves to argue will quickly abandon the main point. If they find a soft spot in your character or personal life, they will attack that instead. They might raise their voice, make personal insults, or cause a scene. Their strategy is not to use logic, but to use anger and aggression. They want to make you feel so small and defeated that you stop talking. When you walk away, they feel they have won a great victory. This is their way of feeling powerful and valid, even for a moment. This habit of constant arguing often comes from a deeper place. For many, it is a sign of frustration and a lack of true purpose in life. When people do not have meaningful goals or passions, they fill their time with empty activities. Winning a petty argument gives them a quick feeling of importance. It is a way to feel smart and in control without actually doing the hard work of improving their real life. It is like a time pass that makes them feel good for a short while. The great irony is that these people might be good at talking and winning arguments, but they are often failing in their actual lives. They spend so much energy on proving they are right in conversations that they have no energy left to do something right in their careers, relationships, or personal growth. They talk a lot but achieve very little. Their victories are hollow because they happen only in words, not in actions. So, what is the solution when you meet such a person? The best thing to do is to not engage. You must protect your own peace and energy. You cannot teach someone who does not want to learn. It is like trying to explain a complex idea from a book to someone who refuses to even open it. Without a basic willingness to understand, your words are wasted. It is not your job to fix them or force them to see reason. Disengaging is not losing, it is choosing your peace over their chaos. Instead, everyone should focus on finding a real purpose. A purpose gives your life direction and meaning. It does not have to be a huge, world-changing goal. It can be something small. Your purpose could be to learn a new skill, to be kind to your family, to help a neighbor, or to improve your health. When you have something positive to work towards, you will not feel the need to waste hours in silly arguments to feel good about yourself. Self-improvement is a much better use of your time. Think about how you can become a better person every single day. This could be through reading, practicing a hobby, exercising, or simply being a good listener. When you are busy building yourself up, you will not want to tear others down. You will find joy in creating and growing, not in arguing and destroying. In the end, this is a common experience that almost everyone faces. We all meet people who are more interested in fighting than in finding the truth. The key lesson is to recognize them early and choose not to play their game. Save your knowledge and energy for those who are ready to listen and learn. Focus on your own purpose and growth. By doing this, you build a life that is truly successful and fulfilling, far away from the noise of pointless arguments.